Thanks for checking out Gradelink. This is a 45-minute video covering all of the major features. To see shorter videos, keep scrolling down on the page and there you will see several 2 to 3 minute videos organized topically. If you are a customer and you are looking for training, please check out help.gradelink.com. Here you will find training courses for absolute beginners and also in-depth articles. Also, you have access to something called proactive support. To sign up for reminders that will save you time, go to gradelink.com/proactive support. And finally, as a customer, you have access to your very own customer care representative. If you don't know who this person is, contact us and we'll get you in touch. Thank you and enjoy the demo.
Hi, welcome to Gradelink, a comprehensive, easy-to-use school management solution designed to help you save time, improve enrollment, and fulfill your organization's mission. This series of videos will cover the many features that Gradelink provides, including academics, enrollment, finances, communication, reporting, and more. We hope to give you a good idea of everything we have to offer, but if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to our sales team at any time by calling us at 1-800-742-3083 extension 1. Let's get started. With Gradelink, you can set up a variety of user accounts to fit the needs of each individual at the school. For example, we're currently logged in as a full administrator, somebody who has complete access to the system. We can make adjustments to the system settings, change user permissions, and access every major page on Gradelink to make any necessary changes. Most schools will set up 2 or 3 full administrator accounts for their organization. A step below the full administrator is the limited administrator. These accounts only have access to areas in the system that a full administrator has explicitly given them permission to access. For example, we might set up a registrar account that can access tools like communication, online enrollment and registration, and finances, but that wouldn't be able to access grades, report cards, or other features like that. Whereas full administrators are a preset group that has access to everything by default, limited administrators are customized on a user-by-user basis, meaning you can customize each account to have access to whatever they need to have access to. The final staff type is the teacher account. Teachers have access to the classes that the administration puts them in charge of, which we can see is displayed on the right-hand side below the teacher's picture. Additionally, they have access to information on the students in those classes. They cannot access anything outside of that scope. Regardless of our staff type, this page allows us to keep track of basic information on our teachers and administrators both, such as contact or workplace information. There's also room for notes at the bottom of the page to track any additional information. In addition to staff accounts, we of course have parent and student accounts, which are able to access academic progress, attendance, and even certain reports. Their level of access is ultimately determined by what the administrator allows them to view. Parents and students are provided with separate login credentials, with parent accounts being granted access to elevated information, such as online enrollment packages or billing data. For separated families, Gradelink also provides 2 unique sets of login credentials, and administration can even customize the access permissions for each account. Student and parent data can be managed via the Student section in the top left corner. Here, we're able to track crucial information on our families, such as demographics, contact information, and medical data. The main page for students displays a picture, basic class and attendance information, emergency contacts, and fields for additional information, including birthday, gender, and ethnicity. You're also able to create tags, a customizable tool that will allow you to run more specific reports and create unique communication groups for your students. Tags can either be selected via a drop-down menu, generally reserved for ones that you might use often, or manually entered using the text entry field if you don't plan on using a particular tag regularly. Tags are a powerful reporting tool, allowing you to generate more customized reports. For example, I might run a report that searches for all 8th grade students tagged with both Girl Scout and Book Club. Additional information is stored in different subtabs at the top of the page. Most of these are fairly straightforward, such as contacts, addresses, login info, and notes. The 2 that we'll focus on are documents and files, which may sound similar, but actually track very different types of information. The Files page is where you can upload a file from your computer so that it becomes associated with the selected student. These could be things like birth certificates or immunization records, or any other documentation that you need, such as a report card or transcript from another institution. Parents are also able to upload files as a part of their online application, and these files appropriately display in the Enrollment Files section, saving you the hassle of having to download a copy of each file and re-upload it manually. The Documents page is a bit different. It serves the purpose of tracking miscellaneous pieces of information on the student or family that doesn't really fit anywhere else. This might include things like religious information, government-issued IDs, language proficiencies, carpool or busing information, or even financial assistance codes if you have programs like free or reduced lunch. The medical section allows you to record and view different types of information related to a particular student. Through the exams page, you're able to track office visits, as well as physical, hearing, vision, and scoliosis exams. The immunizations page allows you to store immunization records in the system and even run reports on who has met these requirements. There's also a medications page where you can track any and all medications related to the student, what they're actively taking, what they may have to take in the event of an emergency, and what they've been cleared for in certain circumstances based on parental permissions. Finally, the medical history page lists all health conditions, both past and present, related to the student. This covers everything from allergies and asthma to things like seizures or heart conditions. Both student medications and medical history can be shared with the teachers working with those students. But keep in mind, teachers are not able to make changes to this information. The counseling section allows you to keep track of different behavioral events, both positive and negatives, related to a particular student. Within Gradelink, these are also referred to as incidents. This section is primarily focused on keeping track of and following up on instances where a child does something that requires additional action, whether it be a demerit, detention, suspension, or so on. Both teachers and administrators are able to fill this form out. Administrators can receive notifications letting them know of any newly logged incidents. You can also share some of this information with parents when they log in, and they're able to sign up for personal email alerts as well. While you determine how much information families have access to, by default, they can see the incident date, location, type, description, and follow-up actions. As a staff member, when you first log into Gradelink, you'll default to the Gradelink news page. We treat this space as an opportunity for us to let you know what's going on here at Gradelink. We'll post updates on new features we're releasing, blog posts that we recently created, promotions that we might be running, or just other pieces of news that we're interested in sharing with you. And similarly, we want you to be able to offer the same level of communication to the families that you're working with. To that end, we've created the school news page. This is a space for you to inform your families about the state of your organization in a newsletter format. You can post pictures and videos, resources like hyperlinks to other websites, or just general updates about events at the school. And because it's a newsletter format, you're able to have multiple posts published at once for families to interact with. Making adjustments to these pages is easy. Just click Edit in the top right corner, and it's almost as if you're working within a Word document. A lot of the tools you'll see here are comparable. You can also publish and unpublish posts. So if you've already created one that you plan on using again next year, you can just unpublish it, make your changes, and then republish it again once the new school year begins. Whereas school news can be seen by all users, teacher pages are more private and are designed for teachers and their students instead of administrators. Teachers can create pages for each individual class or subject that they teach, but also have access to a general announcements page that is visible to all of their students, regardless of which class they're in. While the functionality is the same between school news and teacher pages, these tools operate independently of one another. School news doesn't need to be enabled for teachers to set up their pages, and vice versa. Administrators and teachers are also able to make use of Gradelink's built-in calendar feature to post upcoming events for the school or within the classroom. Administrators can manage a public calendar as well as a private staff calendar, each with unique event types programmed in by the school staff. Additionally, teachers can post events that are occurring in their classes, and any assignments they create in their grade sheets will automatically be listed on the corresponding class or subject calendar as well. If you'd like, you can also embed the public school calendar onto your front-facing website, allowing people to see what's going on at the school without having to log into Gradelink directly. Gradelink also allows you to take a more direct approach with how you communicate with your families. Thus far, we've discussed methods with having parents log in to view their own information, but in some cases, we'll want to reach out to them more directly. To that end, Gradelink offers SmartSend and SmartSend Pro. SmartSend is Gradelink's emailing tool and allows you to quickly send out emails to custom groups of families and staff, such as only the parents of 8th graders or every member of the volleyball team. Administrators have the ability to email anyone in the database, while teachers only have access to the families that they're directly working with. If you've used other email programs, you'll be right at home with SmartSend. You can create customized signatures, add attachments, and save emails as drafts. Sending to particular groups or individuals is also made easy. At the top of the page, you have a simple entry bar where you can plug in any name or email address that you'd like to reach out to. The Group Selector tool also comes with preset groups, such as all active staff or parents, all alumni, or specific grade levels and classes. You can also create your own custom groups on a user-by-user basis by clicking on the Groups button at the top of the page and selecting Add New Group. This allows you to dial in things like grade level, division, class, or custom tags that you've created and assigned to your students. These groups are smart groups, so students will automatically filter into and out of the groups so long as they meet the set parameters. Gradelink also offers a premium communications package called SmartSend Pro. You get SMS text blasting and voice call delivery, plus delivery scheduling and a history log, along with the email blast and groups features that come standard. This service is ideal for administrators who want to send out mass announcements or emergency updates. Texting is straightforward. You're able to type in your message and send it to whomever you'd like to, whenever you'd like to. Voice messaging, though, works a bit differently. Unlike other systems that utilize a more robocall method, where you type in your text and have a robot read it off in the message itself, Gradelink will instead have you type in your 10-digit phone number and dial out to that line. After picking up, you'll be prompted to record a message as if you were leaving a voicemail for someone. When you hang up, the message displays in Gradelink, allowing you to determine who you want to send the message to and when. Don't worry about the phone number you dialed in being sent to all of your families. The number is masked when the message gets sent out, allowing you to record a message from home or on the go if you're unable to use your school line. Gradelink allows you to track attendance in two ways, once per day, once per class. Daily attendance, also called school attendance, is a single sheet that generally gets updated by the front office once per day, although you might update it again later if a student arrives late or leaves early. Daily attendance is most commonly used in elementary grade levels. These attendance values that you see on your screen are not hard-coded into the system, so you can make adjustments to these easily if you need, adding and removing options as you see fit. Present and absent are the two exceptions, as these are default values that cannot be changed. You're also able to determine present and absent values for these attendance options. So if you wanted 4 tardies to equal 1 absence, you would set the absent value for tardy to 0.25. You can also use Gradelink for periodic or class-based attendance. This type of attendance is best used in instances where students are moving around throughout the day, changing classrooms and teachers regularly. As with daily attendance options, you can adjust class-based attendance options via the settings section. It's also important to add that you can run both types of attendance simultaneously within Gradelink. In addition to setting up standard attendance values, you can set up what we refer to as billing values. For example, we have Lunch 1 and Lunch 2 options programmed in here. These values still behave like regular attendance values, which means you could run reports to figure out how many lunches a particular student got over the course of the semester, or how many people ordered a particular lunch option on a specific day. However, the most important function of billing values on the attendance sheet is their ability to connect with Gradelink's financial tools. Billing values recorded during attendance can have a dollar amount associated with them that will be used to automatically generate transactions and apply them to a student's ledger in the financial section. Gradelink also allows you to assign financial assistance codes to students. So if you offer free or reduced lunch plans, the dollar amount of the selected lunch value will automatically adjust. So if lunch normally costs $5 for Johnny, but he's on a reduced lunch plan, we can have the system automatically readjust to $2.50. Gradelink offers a service for signing students into and out of a class, particularly useful for preschool and before and after care programs. An administrator can log into this easy-to-use tool and set it up at a kiosk in the classroom, allowing parents or other emergency contacts to quickly find their child and sign off with their initials. Gradelink's internal reporting will not only track who signed a student in or out and when, but also keep track of hourly totals, rounded to the nearest hour based on your preference. You can then run reports on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis in the event that you'd like to handle billing for said services. These unique sign in and out classes can also automatically check students out at a set time for your convenience. And now we'll take an opportunity to look at a few more useful tools in Gradelink that your school might make use of. Prior to families committing to your organization, they may simply want to learn a bit more about what your school has to offer. To that end, Gradelink features a prospective student form that allows you to track potentials and update their information with notes, follow-up actions, and customized tags to help you learn how they heard about you and what interests them most about your school. Most families will fill out this form through your front-facing website, but the form also has a kiosk mode, which can be useful for schools that invite potential families to view their campus or host other live events. Administrators can choose to receive notifications whenever families submit the form, allowing you to immediately follow up with any interested leads. There's also a report that can be filtered and exported from the system in order to properly organize the data to meet your needs. Enroll.me is Gradelink's service for handling applications and re-enrollment forms. On the left-hand side, we can see the entries of all applications that have been submitted as a part of the upcoming school year's session. If I click on one of these applications, I load into the workflow page, which allows me to see any notes that have been left on this application, the status update history, and whether or not families have made any payments as a part of the application, whether they be registration fees, application fees, and so on. Enroll.me allows schools to make use of completely customized forms, built for the school by our team here at Gradelink. We start from the ground up with each school, working with you to bring your current method of registration and enrollment into our integrated service. You'll be able to collect everything from basic information like names, contact information, and medical data, to waivers or personalized forms that you need the family to fill out. You can also collect documentation via the online application, allowing families to submit files like government IDs, immunization records, or transcripts from another institution. Attachments can also be provided to applicants to download as a part of the application. If you have fields that are required as a part of the application, we can also work with you to set these up as mandated fields. Forms can also vary depending on certain fields within the application itself. For example, if you'd like to have different forms available for first-time applicants versus re-enrolling families, we can accommodate that. Similarly, you can have dynamic forms that adjust based on grade levels, meaning if you have younger grade levels that need to fill out something different from older grade levels, we can have the forms adjust based on the grade level selected. For your families who log in to re-enroll, their data is already saved in the system, meaning they don't have to fill in the same information year after year. Things like student demographic, contact, and medical information will automatically fill in for them. Once the family has made sure all data is up to date and accurate, they can get through the application in just a handful of minutes. New applicants, of course, do not have Gradelink accounts quite yet, so we'll provide you with a link that you can either email out or embed directly onto your front-facing website for first-time applicants. These applicants can apply and stay updated throughout the process. Whether they're a first-time applicant or a re-enrolling family, their application will appear on the left-hand side as soon as they begin the process of filling out their information, meaning that you don't have to wait for someone to submit the forms in order to see their data appear in Enroll.me. In that sense, you never really lose a lead. As soon as someone has filled out even just a handful of fields in your online forms, you'll have that information available to you in Enroll.me, allowing you to monitor every applicant and assist them in submitting their application. In the top left, there's a drop-down menu where you can toggle through different statuses representing where the application is at in the enrollment or registration process. Administrators may want to receive alerts when somebody submits an application, but you're actually able to receive alerts for any of these statuses on a user-by-user basis. So if another member of the team approves or rejects an application, you can be notified immediately. These same form statuses can also send out automated emails to the applicants themselves based on the status selected. A common case would have Enroll.me send out an email as soon as the applicant has submitted the forms, perhaps thanking them for their submission and letting them know what the next steps will be. Or you might utilize this tool to send out an email to any application marked as pending, alerting them about missing documentation or incomplete payments. In addition to the online forms, we're able to build you printable contracts that pull information that has been filled out in the digital forms by your families. Just like the online forms, these contracts can be customized to meet each school's needs, meaning that not every piece of data needs to flow from online forms into the contracts. Once applicants have been approved, simply import them into the student section. When we do this transfer of data, it's more of a copy-paste than a cut and paste, meaning you're able to return to the online forms they filled out later on if need be. Keep in mind that while previously submitted forms can be accessed as long as you're using Enroll.Me, any changes or updates made to current forms will retroactively make adjustments to your older forms as well. We recommend keeping a copy of all Enroll.Me data per year, whether it be via our Enroll.Me export or the aforementioned contracts. In discussing Gradelink's financial and billing components, it's important to understand that the service offered is primarily an accounts receivables program. It gives the administration the opportunity to program in different fees and transactions related to family or student accounts, and then communicate that information to families when they log in, or utilize the input data to generate internal reports. Gradelink's financial tools allow you to group transactions into customizable billing categories, such as tuition, registration, lunch, before and after care, field trips, or anything else that you can possibly come up with. Transactions can also be divided into types, including charges, payments, and credit or debit memos, which would allow you to account for things like discounts, scholarships, and grants. All of this information will be programmed into individual student ledgers, allowing you to run reports to see who's paid, who hasn't paid in the last few weeks or months, or run statements that you can provide to your families upon login. Most reports within the financial component can be easily exported to Excel, PDF, or even Word document formats. Fees can be input into a student's ledger in a variety of ways. For individual one-time fees, you can simply input the transaction onto that student's ledger directly. For fees that are related to specific groups of students, we offer batch transaction processing as well, allowing you to quickly add fees to multiple students or families at the same time. Fees can also be automated via the contracts section at the top of the page. Once a contract has been set up, the programmed fees will automatically post onto that student's ledger on the set date. Recurring daily fees, such as transactions for school lunch or after school care, can be tied into the attendance section, allowing for appropriate charges to automatically apply to the student's ledger once the value has been selected on the attendance sheet. Parents can log in and click on a tab labeled Billing to view posted statements. Categorical breakdowns can be viewed at a glance on a year-to-date basis, month by month, or by most recent activity. Clicking on any one of these links downloads a copy of the statement onto the parent's device, giving them a more detailed breakdown of when specific charges were incurred on their account. Through a premium integration, parents can also make payments online directly through their Gradelink portal via credit card and ACH. These can be one-off payments, or families can set up automatic recurring withdrawal plans to have the system submit payments on their behalf for the duration of the plan. Whether they're setting up a plan or making a one-time payment, they don't need to visit any other site. Gradelink is fully integrated with our merchant vendor partner, meaning parents don't need a separate username or password in order to make payments. Additionally, administrators can view all submitted payments within their portal. You can sort through these payments by family, amount, or status of the payment. A major component of any student information system is the ability to run complex internal reports. Gradelink offers a variety of built-in reports ranging from reports on enrollment applications to financial information to student data. But a big focus is tracking academic data and then running reports on student results. These results are largely accessed through the administrator reports and teacher report buttons on the left-hand side. These two sections are fairly comparable, though as you might guess, administrators can run more and more detailed reports than teachers. Via the administrator reports section, we're able to run reports that are generally focused on attendance and grades. We can also run more complex reports such as honor roll, deficiency reports, and progress reports. There are a variety of attendance reports as well, such as attendance by class or teacher, or customizable attendance reports that can search for specific parameters, like a student who has 5 tardies and 3 absences in a single semester. There are a myriad of other reports you can run in Gradelink as well, but we won't have time to cover every single one in this video. If you're interested in learning about additional topics such as custom rosters, lesson plan reports, GPA and honor roll, enrollment and ethnicity levels, and more, please feel free to reach out to us today. Administrators and teachers can track student and family service or volunteer hours within Gradelink. In addition to being able to specify the student or family member who participated in the event, you can also track the supervisor, date, total time volunteered, and a brief activity description. Administrators can customize the settings for service hours, allowing you to specify which grade levels are required to volunteer their time, as well as what the unique requirements are for both students and families. If you'd prefer, families can also fill out and submit this information themselves for approval by a teacher or administrator. Internal reporting will display individual student and family logs, as well as running totals. Running a transcript in Gradelink is even easier than running a report card, primarily because with transcripts, all we have to do is select the student's name and it will immediately run. Transcripts not only have the benefit of showing how many classes a student has taken and completed longitudinally from a set grade level until today, but you can also track and display information such as graduation requirements, cumulative GPA and credits, class rank, test scores, and student accomplishments. Gradelink stores transcript data indefinitely, so even if you need to go back and pull up a transcript from an alumni who graduated a decade ago, it's no problem. Additionally, you can even make adjustments to these transcripts via buttons at the top like Edit Grades, Edit Classes, or Edit Terms. In the event that a student is transferred from another organization, you can click the Add Grades button to record grades for classes that don't exist in Gradelink. This means that you can add any class with any grade and determine its overall credit impact for the student's graduation requirements and GPA as well. In addition to printing and saving transcripts as a PDF, you can also allow parents and students to view an unofficial copy of their transcript via their portal. While it won't display information in the same way as the official copy, it's still a valuable resource for parents to be able to reference in order to see what their child has completed thus far and what they still have left to complete prior to graduating. There are a myriad of other reports you can run in Gradelink as well, but we won't have time to cover every single one in this video. If you're interested in learning about additional topics such as custom rosters, lesson plan reports, GPA and honor roll, enrollment and ethnicity levels, and more, please feel free to reach out to us today. One of the most common reports a school will generate through this section is the report card. Running a report card in Gradelink is easy. At the end of each term, teachers or administrators will conclude their classes. This is our way of letting Gradelink know that a class is over and done with. No new grades will be entered, and no more changes will be made. Once a class has been concluded, its data is automatically transferred onto report cards and transcripts for you. At that point, all you have to do to run a report card is select your term range, mode, and a student or group of students that you'd like to run the report card for. You can run report cards by individual, class, or grade level. While not every school will make use of them, report card profiles give you the ability to generate report cards that have small changes to their designs. For example, you may have a report card that needs to look mostly the same for both upper and lower grade levels, but only needs to display a GPA for the upper grade levels. In this scenario, you could just create two separate profiles, one that includes the GPA and one that doesn't. We'll showcase a couple of report card examples here, just so you can see what Gradelink has to offer. A large degree of customization options are available, and we work with every organization throughout their implementation phase to design the report cards, progress reports, and transcripts that make your school look professional and fulfill your unique needs. This report card is more common for upper grade levels, such as middle or high school students, and is very concise with the information that it displays. There's room for grades, attendance, narrative comments, and more, but the information shown is relatively light. Compare that to this bifold report card, which affords us a lot more space for each class to better focus on their intricacies and subcomponents. We also have a nice custom-made front cover on the right-hand side, as well as a left-hand side that functions as a back cover and provides a space for extended narrative comments. Teachers are able to enter both narrative and numbered comments in the system to speak to student progress. Narrative comments can easily be updated at any time, and teachers are able to review not only each student's active grades and attendance for reference, but also any past grades, attendance, and narrative comments that the teacher has logged throughout the year. We can help you configure up to 30 numbered comment options that teachers can quickly input into the system for each class or subject as well. Report cards can be easily printed out or saved as PDF files. If you'd like to mail them to your families directly, Gradelink allows you to generate mailing and address labels through your administrator reports. You can also publish official report cards online for your parents to access through a computer or via our free mobile app. Not only does this save you time and paper, but you'll be able to access a report that shows you who's opened the report card and who hasn't. Gradelink makes setting up your school year easy. The first thing you'll want to do is create your terms. These can be standard terms that you'd find in a traditional educational institution, such as trimesters, semesters, and quarters, or you can establish your own customized terms if you'd prefer. All that's needed is a term title, report title, which appears on things like report cards, and start and end dates for the term. An active term is one that is currently ongoing and updated. Inactive terms can still be accessed by staff, parents, and students depending on your settings. Once you've established your terms, you can begin creating classes. By default, the Gradelink support team will set up your terms and classes for you during the initial implementation phase. However, you're free to make changes whenever you'd like. Within Gradelink, we define a class as anything substantial that a teacher is going to be inputting student information into. So traditional subjects like math, English, science, and social studies would absolutely be considered classes. But you'll notice on the list here, we've got some other classes that you might not typically consider classes. For example, things like attendance, behavior, narrative comments, before and after care, work habits, and even sports are entered as classes within Gradelink. They track different things, not necessarily grades, but we consider them to be classes all the same. We can record what type of class something is, as well as the details associated with it, on the left-hand side of the screen. Most of these are straightforward, such as class or report title, course codes, the teacher or teachers in charge of the class, and the order that the class will display on reports like transcripts or report cards. You can also set the type of class, whether it be a standard graded option, or other things like school attendance, lunch, sport, and so on. Gradelink supports nearly any grade scale, so whether you're doing the traditional ABCDF model or a mastery scale such as standards-based, or if you wanted to even do a behavioral scale, like the OGSNI scale or the MXT scale, you can customize these options. The system automatically calculates GPA for you, and we can even set up an honors grade scale that boosts GPA for certain classes. Subgrades can be used in a variety of ways to further customize your classes. Subgrades can be used in objective-based learning as a replacement for traditional grading, allowing you to update how well a student is doing in particular goals rather than creating assignments. A good example is work habits, which is a class built exclusively out of subgrades, allowing teachers to update how well students are following instructions or respecting others. Alternatively, you can use subgrades as actual components of a class, such as subgrades in a language arts class to communicate how well students performed in skills like reading comprehension, writing, spelling, and so on. Graduation requirements are tracked and displayed on the transcript to convey how many units a student is still required to complete in order to graduate. The titles and totals of these requirements can be adjusted by the staff at any time. Setting up schedules for your classes is easy, whether you need basic or more advanced options. The simple schedule is exactly what it sounds like. Just plug in the time and location of a class and you're good to go. The simple schedule is designed for classes that take place every day of the week at the same time. But if you have more complex requirements, such as a rolling schedule or classes that only happen on certain days of the week, we can set that up using advanced schedules. We even support an alternating A-B schedule, which means classes can take place on different days and times in different weeks. In doing so, we're able to customize the location and time of a class based on the day of the week. Whether you're using the simple or advanced schedules, or even both, you can easily generate nice-looking student and teacher schedules to see where someone is at any given time of day. Parents and students can also log in on their end and click a schedule button to view the same report at any time. Gradelink makes it easy for you to transition from one school year to the next. At the end of each final term during a school year, such as trimester 3 or quarter 4, you'll conclude your classes and mark the term as inactive. Then, select Copy Term Classes to move all classes from this school year into the upcoming one. Make sure the box labeled Keep Students in the Same Classes is unchecked, so you don't accidentally enroll students in the same classes they took last year. Mark the new term as active, and you're ready to go. You can promote students from one grade level to the next via the Student section. The Promote subtab offers an easy-to-understand, step-by-step guide for promoting your students and moving all graduated students to the Alumni category in the system, quickly archiving their data for you. If you make any mistakes, remember that alumni records are always available and can be easily accessed by filtering your student view from All Active to Alumni.
Have you ever wished you could sync your grade sheet with Google Classrooms? It's easy with Gradelink. Whether you're using a Google Classroom account tied to your Gmail account or a school email account, you can sync it with Gradelink. When the sync is completed, grades and assignments from Google Classroom will appear in your Gradelink account. And teachers choose which gradebooks need to be synced. Students and parents benefit from having one place to view all their students' activities, including assignments, report cards, newsletters, volunteer hours, payments, and enrollment information. Best of all, it's included with your Gradelink account. So get started today.
In creating a new assignment, teachers are able to enter in a title, the date it was assigned as well as a due date, and other pieces of information, such as the assignment type that we just mentioned, or the assignment's grading styles. Teachers can grade assignments based off of points values, percentages, or flat letter grades, and are able to mix and match these styles depending on personal preference. As a teacher, you can also type in a description to communicate information to your families when they log into the system. You can also provide hyperlinks to other websites if they need to access resources outside of the system. You can upload files, such as PDFs, Word docs, or PowerPoints as attachments for parents or students to log in and download as well. So if you're giving a test this upcoming Friday and you post the assignment on Monday, you might upload a study guide online for them to download. Similarly to lesson plans, you can also save your assignments into a collection within Gradelink, allowing you to pull up and reuse assignments that you've created in the past. These assignments can also be shared with other members of the team if you'd like. Gradelink offers a full suite of powerful tools for teachers. One of the first features a teacher might interact with is lesson planning, which provides staff the opportunity to program in specifically what they'll be teaching in a particular class or subject. In this case, we'll look at 1 week's worth of lesson plans for a single teacher. Every aspect of a teacher's lesson plans can be customized by that individual instructor. The order and color of the classes, the content of the lesson plans themselves, these are all things that can be adjusted just by clicking on the settings button at the top of the page. Clicking on a lesson plan displays its content. We're able to see tabs such as lessons, objectives, notes, and anything else that the instructor has programmed in. Additionally, you can tie lesson plans into assignments that you've set up in your class. So if you're giving an assignment that's related to this lesson, you can integrate the two. If there are any attachments that you'd like to upload as a part of your lesson, there's a tab for that as well. Gradelink will also let you integrate any standards you're teaching as a part of your lesson as well, allowing you to associate standards to your lesson plans and track them as you're communicating and teaching these lessons. You can then run reports to see which standards you've covered and which you still have left to teach. Teachers and administrators can both leave comments on lesson plans as well. Admins might leave a comment for a teacher to check, teachers may leave themselves reminder notes, or if teachers are working collaboratively on their lessons, they may use this section to communicate with one another. When a user first logs in, a little comments bubble will alert them to new feedback. Lesson plans can be saved into Gradelink so that you don't have to worry about recreating those same lessons year after year. These lesson plans are busy. There's a lot of content that a teacher has programmed in here, so saving them into Gradelink's lesson plan collection tool will save this teacher a lot of time. If you forgot to save your lesson, that's okay too. They still exist in the lesson plan section from last year, so you can always go back and save it into your collection. Teachers can also share their lesson plan collections with other teachers, allowing them to create a living library that can be accessed by all members of the staff. We want to make it easy for lesson plans to be able to be moved around, in case your plans change throughout the year. In order to accommodate that, Gradelink makes it easy to bump your lesson plans forward, extend them into upcoming days if you need more time to teach the lesson, or back them up a few days if you're ahead of schedule. If you bump a lesson plan forward, it'll bump forward all future lessons an equal amount of time, whereas if you just extend it to the next day, it won't disrupt any other lessons. You can also copy and paste lesson plans from one day into another. You can set up recurring lesson plans, or even drag and drop lesson plans, picking it up and dragging it into a different day. We want to make it as easy as possible to change your lesson plans when necessary. Now that we've taught the students what we were hoping to as a part of our lessons, we can shift to tracking assignments and grades as a part of the grade sheet. If you've worked out of another SIS or gradebook before, or even a custom-built Excel sheet, this will all feel fairly familiar. If you've never worked out of any digital method to handle your grading, this should be an easy transition. The very first thing that an instructor will want to do when they log into their account is create what's called assignment types, the categories that you're going to be associating each assignment to. These can be things like homework, classwork, tests, participation, and so on. And they're adjusted on a class-by-class, teacher-by-teacher basis, so you're able to program in any title and weight percentage uniquely. If you don't want to weigh by percentage, you can also weigh based off of points. Instead of saying that homework as a category is worth 25% of the overall grade, you can simply say that a 10-point homework assignment is worth half as much as a 20-point homework assignment. As you can see, you're also able to drop low scores automatically or create extra credit assignments as well. If you prefer not to do traditional grading at all, Gradelink is also equipped to track objective-based grading. So if you don't actually track specific assignment grades like points or percentages, but you still want to come in from time to time and update how well a student is doing in a particular objective, Gradelink supports that as well. When looking at the grade sheet, you'll notice that every assignment has a grade button at the top of the page, whether it's actually been graded or not. When we click on this grade button, we can make adjustments to existing grades, or in the case of an ungraded assignment, add a brand new grade for the first time. You'll see it takes me to a page that has 3 interactive columns that we can manipulate. The first one is just for adding the grade. Let's say that for this particular assignment, the most common grade was 85%. Rather than typing this in for every student individually, we can click this blue arrow icon and apply that 85% to everybody at once. From there, I can either click through or tap the Enter key to go down the list and make any adjustments. The second tab that we can interact with is the grade codes column. These are what Gradelink would refer to as alternative grades, things that take the place of a standard score. Common examples would be missing, excused, incomplete, and absent. These options are not hardwired into the system. Administration can adjust these to fit the school's needs. Keep in mind, however, that these are school-wide settings. So as an example, I'm unable to say that an M for missing is a 0% in the 4th grade, but is excluded from grade averages in the 5th grade. The final column is for narrative comments that we'd like to communicate to our parents and students. These are different from the narrative comments that would show up on something like a report card, which are meant to be more longitudinal. In this case, we're typing in comments related to a single individual assignment so that parents and students can understand how to improve moving forward. You could type something in as simple as "good work," but if you have comments that you find yourself using fairly regularly, you can also click the Manage Comments button to customize comments that you can pull from a comment bank. This will save you some time and can also be personalized by each teacher individually. Once a grade is saved and submitted into the system, it updates for everybody in real time, allowing administrators, teachers, parents, and students to access the information immediately. Parents can sign up for academic alerts as well, allowing them to receive an instant notification if their child receives a low grade on an assignment, or if the child's overall grade in the class dips below a custom threshold. These alerts can be customized for each subject individually, so if mom and dad know that Johnny is only really struggling in math, they can sign up for alerts that are more strict than they would be in some of his other subjects.
Welcome to Gradelink. We understand that moving to a new student information system can be overwhelming. Gradelink has helped over 2,000 schools make this transition. We have systems in place to ensure it goes smoothly for everyone, especially teachers and parents. You will have a representative that will work with you one-on-one. Their job is to help you with onboarding, training, and support. Before you ever log into Gradelink, we will tailor your account to match your goals. Your representative will send you a questionnaire about your school and request a copy of your current report cards and student roster. Once you send us this information, your representative will import the data and customize your account, all within 5 to 10 business days. Some preferences are up to each user, such as lesson plan layouts and custom email groups. Our easy-to-follow video tutorial makes it simple. Training is important, so we provide a layered approach that works with a multitude of learning styles. We also believe in concise training, which empowers our users. Our suggested approach is as follows. Teachers and office staff complete the 90-minute video training course. Students and family members can view a 5-minute training video available in both English and Spanish. You can schedule a follow-up Q&A session with your representative to go over any other questions or needs. The hallmark of Gradelink is customer care. We'll get to know you on a first-name basis. For this reason, each school has a representative that will work with them one-on-one. Our customer care includes your personal representative, phone, chat, and email support, 24/7 access to the tutorial library, professional development webinars, topical newsletter, proactive emails to remind staff about routine operations, and even a personalized review of your settings to ensure report card integrity. When you're ready to make the transition, we're here to help you every step of the way with ongoing training and support you need to be successful. We look forward to helping your school save time, improve enrollment, and fulfill its mission.